Yo, what's up guys? MKBHD here. Welcome back to another video. And I was just thinking, you know what we haven't done since the last decade? A Q&A. So that's what we're doing here, answering some of your questions from Twitter. I asked you guys what you wanted to know over there, as I usually do, and we got some good ones. So let's get into it. Also, I want you to, do you see this back here? Stay right here, don't move. I want to show you something. See how far away this looks like pretty clear? You can kind of tell what that is. But up close, it's a bunch of Lego pieces. This came in the mail from Asus, so thanks for sending it along, but it's literally a Lego, it's a Lego brick version of my profile picture. I put a video of this up on Twitter of like zooming out for it. It's kind of cool how they use the different colors. There's absolutely no blue in my profile picture, but it's like the farther away you get, the more clear it is. And these are real, they're real Lego bricks. That was kind of cool. I don't think they're like making this any more often than this one of one, but I wanted to share it. I'm gonna put it back. There you go. There it is. Now you can tell. Very cool. All right, let's get into your questions. See if you guys have gotten better at asking questions for 2020. Okay, here's one. Why is your new intro not in dark mode, as the Twitter should always be? I'm a really big fan of the new intro graphic and the new outro graphic that matches it. There will be other alternate versions of the intro for different types of videos and different playlist series and styles over the course of the year, so stay tuned for those. Some of them may be dark mode, spoiler, but yeah, I really like it, so that's the default one for now. How dope is the new Raven Model S? Oh yes, Ben Sullins from Teslanomics. The new Model S is great. So for those who don't know, Apollo has been retired. So 3 years in, it was a lease. So after the 3 years, I extended it for a little bit, and then she's gone back to Tesla. And I have a new Model S now. It's wrapped matte black. It's almost the same exact car. The new name is Phantom, and there's a little extra work done. It's a car that I own now, so I could do stuff like tint the windows and make it a little more custom. But yeah, it has been amazing so far. Like I said, very similar car, still the high-end performance Model S, same dimensions, same design, but there's some new things like there's new cameras, there's new software features, there's actually more range, new suspension, new front motor. And I've actually thought about making a video, maybe leave a thumbs up if you'd want to see an entire video on all the new changes and stuff that's different about Phantom versus Apollo, or how Teslas change over time. But it's fascinating. There is no 2020 Model S. They just slowly increment the car over time. So it is a better car. Okay, what do you think is the most overrated trend in 2019 that you don't want to see continue? Wow. You know, in tech, you don't really get to find out what's overrated in the moment. It sort of takes a while before things that used to be very popular fizzle away. So a lot of the stuff we're living now, like, you know, more cameras, high refresh rate screens, bigger batteries, that sort of stuff, we won't find out if it's overrated or not until maybe it goes away. Oh, you know what I will say though, since he says stuff that you don't want to see continue, the G8 and the Pixel 4 both had this like gesture control where you're like waving over the top of the phone to do stuff. Both of them didn't really work very well. And even if they did work well, I didn't use them very often. So I will say, it's not even overrated, but I just don't want to see that in the next Pixel or the next LG G phone. Gesture controls. So what are your goals for the next decade? That is a big question. And I am notoriously, I already know I'm not very good at thinking really far into the future. I'm so laser focused on making the next video better and making the next couple weeks and the next year of videos better than last year. But yeah, now that we've looked back over the last decade and we've seen how this whole tech thing, this whole reviewer thing has grown, I basically have some future thoughts about reviewing things, period. And I think there may be a way to take reviewing things to the next level. But that's all. I don't want to reveal too much, so that's all I'll say for now. Oh yeah, when are you moving to the new studio? This is something that I've teased a little bit. So we have a new space in this same building that we're going to be moving into. It was supposed to be, they say it's construction, so construction is never on time. But we were originally going to move on New Year's. Now the new date we have is February 1st, which is in a couple weeks. But that's the plan, is to move everything we have in this studio and the 2 spaces we have that are right next to this studio and move them all into this bigger space. And that'll be pretty fun. And we'll get to take everything we know about furnishing a space and what we want to do with it, and to have a podcast and different sets and different rooms and soundproofing and all this stuff. We'll be able to take all of our expertise from these spaces that we've set up and move it into this one like dream tech studio. That's the plan anyway. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably have like a behind the scenes of how we build it out, but that's gonna be fun. Are you more hyped about flexible phones or flexible TVs? And that actually, maybe that ties back to one of the earlier questions. So the answer is flexible phones. Being able to fold up something and put it in your pocket is, of course, ideally useful when the tech works out. But I don't know if you remember curved TVs. Do you guys remember curved TVs? That would be one of the most overrated, silly, useful things. I actually did a video with a curved TV I remember back when I was in college, and that was around the year at CES, where CES is basically a TV show at this point. Most of what you see there is going to be TVs. Anyway, there were a lot of curved TVs that year at CES, and a lot of curved TVs came out afterwards, and I got one, and it was kind of cool, but we don't really see that anymore. Okay, so has the Pro Display XDR made you want to start releasing HDR content regularly? Really interesting question. I've actually thought about 2 things that it's made me want to do. So having the new Mac Pro and the new 6K Pro Display XDRs have made me want to consider uploading in 8K and uploading in HDR. Now, uploading in 8K, you know what, just for the hell of it, I'm gonna upload this video in 8K. I'm gonna make an 8K timeline, and I won't scale anything down. This will be one giant 8K video, even though I know no one's gonna watch it in 8K. Even if you could, you probably don't have the 8K screen to watch it in. But the Mac Pro is so capable that I've thought about, well, I could probably just upload 8K starting like now, but I'm not gonna do that quite yet for 2020. But the other thing that I have thought about is uploading in HDR. Now the HDR pipeline and the workflow for uploading to YouTube is interesting to say the least. I've watched a couple HDR videos, and if you have an HDR compatible phone, any new phone now, you can watch HDR videos as well. But the difference between watching a video that's HDR on one of these HDR screens and a non-HDR screen is actually bigger than I thought. So a lot of these videos that look amazing in HDR that I would love to just start doing all my videos in HDR, when you watch them like on a non-HDR screen, which a lot of people still have, they look worse than normal videos. And so that was sort of a tough place for me to find myself. I don't want to upload a worse than normal looking video. So yeah, I'll probably do the kind of what John Morrison did. You could do a single video or 2, a one-off thing in HDR. I'll probably do the Pro Display XDR review in HDR, but I don't know about everything being HDR yet. But you know, enjoy the 8K video. Okay, what are you most excited for at CES? Yeah, so I'm flying tomorrow to CES. CES is next week, and this will be my 8th consumer electronics show. Saying that out loud makes me feel really old, but it's true. I'll be there. And there is some interesting stuff that we've seen. The show has its ups and downs. I think this year there's gonna be a little bit more smartphone stuff than usual. We have Samsung, who just announced their Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Lite and S10 Lite. Very curiously, they will be at the show, I believe, and if they are, I'll go to the Samsung booth and check them out and share what I find. But they seem to be weirdly like overlapping with the Galaxy S10e and lower end Samsung phones, but also higher end because they're bigger screens. They're weird. I'll check those out. And then OnePlus is also promised. They're gonna be showing a concept phone. Now, CES is always full of concepts and things that will never go on sale, but what they showed was really interesting. It was a little bit of a teaser of essentially a disappearing camera. And if that's the only trick on the phone, then that's cool by itself, but it seems like some sort of a chromatic glass that can hide the camera bump or hide the cameras on the back and then unhide them. It doesn't really matter too much to me because I'm not looking at the back of the phone a lot. I don't really mind seeing the cameras, but that could be really cool. I will definitely be checking that out. And a bunch of TVs again. It's always gonna be a very TV heavy show. There's gonna be a lot of pixels, a lot of QLED, a lot of OLED, a lot of HDR, a lot of 8K, 4K, all of that will be at CES. Matter of fact, here's what you can do. If you do see something cool in a headline or something on Twitter that you want to see a video about that's at CES, tweet it at me. So I'm gonna go out there and obviously be at CES very soon, and I'll see those tweets and I'll go find those things on the show floor and point a camera at them and see if they're any good. So if you find cool stuff, send it my way, and maybe it'll end up in a Dope Tech of CES video at the end of the show. That's what will be the best version of this. Hopefully it's a good show. Okay, each morning, what order do you open your apps on your phone? So alarm app, I close the alarm on my phone first thing. Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, and then TickTick, my tasks app on Android and iOS. And then I'm out. Then I'm off to the day. Oh yeah, how was LASIK? Best thing I've ever spent my money on, honestly. It was funny, in the months leading up to it, I knew I wanted to do it in 2019 so I could be seeing 2020 by 2020. And I was watching all these reviews and people talking about LASIK, and 99% of people were like, this is the best thing I've ever done. And then 1% were like, you could die. You know, which a lot of people were sure to email me those articles, but I was still confident. But I eventually went through with it. It's been almost a month since I did it, and it's been great. The number one side effect most people have is dry eye. Right now, it's the middle of winter in New Jersey. It's about as dry as it gets out here, and my dry eye is pretty much over already too. You see little halos around stuff for like the first couple days while driving at night, but like I drove the day after LASIK and I could see actually better than 2015. So I feel like it was worth it. I really don't spend money on much other than tech. So spending money on myself, investing in myself, and being able to see better than I even could with contacts or glasses, I'd say it's worth it. Definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend. So will we ever see a video to see how you pack your tech for events? Specifically, how do you get the iMac Pro onto a plane? I'll show you. I have one gigantic Pelican case that's a checked bag. I'll link it below if you want to know about it. It's got the styrofoam cutouts just for the iMac Pro. It slots in there perfectly over the top of a keyboard and a mouse and some hardware, and that's pretty much it. Lock it up, check it in oversized baggage, pay a little extra for it, bring an iMac Pro. We got, why don't you use end screens on your videos to promote more of your content? Here you go. I'll do it for this one. Ready? There it is right there. That's been it. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you had any other questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm always on there, but I'm heading out to CES. If you find cool stuff, tweet it at me. Let me know. We'll point a camera at it. We'll see if it's any good. And then we'll come back. And then we'll do more podcast stuff and more videos. And we'll get into 2020. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Peace.